Hello everyone, once again I'm here in my YouTube channel. You are all watching Ashish Pro. My name is Ashish Verma. Currently I'm pursuing my civil engineering in 7th semester from NIT Manipur. Recently I have been placed in L&T ECC. You heard right, L&T ECC. So guys, in today's video I'll be giving you some basic tips that you should follow if you are preparing for L&T ECC, and what are the procedure that L&T follows for GET student when it comes for placement. So all the information I'll be putting in this video. What you have to do, you have to watch this whole video from beginning till the end, so you can get all the information related to L&T ECC drives. And in 2019, what was the procedure that it has followed for picking the student from different NITs and IITs for GET training, right? So stick to this video and you will be getting all the information. So in the beginning, I'll be telling you what was the beginning procedure for getting placement in this L&T ECC. So L&T basically it hires every year. Every year it had some vacancies for GET, graduate engineering trainee, and some postgraduate engineering training students who are doing their graduation or post-graduation from different IITs, NITs, or from different great private engineering colleges. So basically in every year from September, October, November, in these 3 months it has job openings. So it notifies all the brand colleges like NITs, IITs, as I told in the beginning, for different private colleges too. In the month of October, it notified us like the L&T ECC is coming for hiring a student from NIT Manipur. So they notified us in our personal mail which we have in our NIT, that is personal mail, where mostly different companies approach us. So it approaches in the same way. So we got information from our different coordinators and TPOs too. So even I'm a TNP coordinator in NIT Manipur, so I had that information. So I spread that information among my friends. So how many vacancies were there? There were 30 vacancies for civil engineers, 30 vacancies for mechanical engineers, 30 vacancies for electrical engineers, and other branches like CSE and ECE. They also for those other branches too, they have 30 vacancies. So the selection process was like among like if in a branch there are 50 or 100 students, only 30 students will be eligible who will be in top 30 students. Top 30, they will be only eligible for apti round. So there were 3 rounds. First was aptitude round, and second was technical and HR round. And in technical and HR, there was one extempore round where you have to speak about a topic that will be given by your HR, whoever will be taking your interview. So this was the procedure. So first, what they did, so they gave us a particular date. On that particular date, before taking aptitude test, they gave us one PPT presentation. In that PPT presentation, they showed us their facilities, what type of facilities they have for GET student and for postgraduate engineering trainee students, right? So there they were giving us all the information related to the company and how they what is the procedure of the placement, and what type of question will be coming, and all those things they showed us in the PPT. And they also showed us the salary packages, what type of salary packages are there. I won't be mentioning salary packages in that one, but my salary package is quite enough and quite good. It was around it was between 6 to 8 lakh, and it is quite good for students like us, right? So the first round was aptitude test. So in aptitude test there were 3 parts. One was mathematical aptitude, second was the reasoning part. Reasoning includes all the mathematical and some basic questions that are coming from English portion, mathematical portion, arithmetical portion. Those were included. And third portion was English. So in all these three portions, two portions were quite easy: mathematical portion and English portion. If you have a basic knowledge like 60 to 70% in English grammar, you can easily get 20 to 25 marks out of 30. And reasoning portion was somehow critical, because it is the mixture of all the aspects like mathematical, English, and some basic other reasoning, like you will have seen all those questions like blood relation and other questions too, right? So out of time, there were 90 questions in each section. 30 questions were there. So out of 90, there was a threshold point, like out of 90 you have to get at least 50 marks, in accumulation, right, for getting selected in aptitude round. So in our college, around 75 students, they were selected for sitting in aptitude test. So out of 75, the luckiest one, I would say the luckiest one, 25 students were there who got selected for aptitude round. And after aptitude round, they when aptitude round happened, so when result came, 25 students were selected. So after when we got our results, so after that they notified us again that it's upon you when you want to conduct your final interview, where there will be technical, HR, as well as extempore round. So we decided among ourselves, because we are the coordinator. I was the coordinator, and we have a team like 15 members, and we have TPO, right? So we decided like let's do this interview process in September, last week of September. So we decided that one, and then we gave that date to L&T ECC HR, and then they finalized our date, and then they came for interview. Like they didn't come for the last week of September. They came in, I'll say, I'm forgetting the month, but yeah, I'm not sure that, but yeah, it was September, and they came for interview. I don't know the exact date, but yeah, and in that interview was the online process, because this time they had some problems, they had some issues, so they didn't come for our college. The interview was online, and in Skype we did our interview, and interview was quite good. The questions, the level of difficulty that we faced during interview, it wasn't that tough, but more questions were like practical questions. Like, see, when you go for interview, there will be a panel, but in this time there wasn't a panel. This time there was one person who was asking technical, HR, as well as extempore round. So everything, all three rounds together were being done by only single person. So that person, when I'll tell you my experience, personal experience. So as soon as I entered inside the room, there was a chair, and I sat in front of a screen. HR was in front of me, and after keeping myself calm, I wished him it was afternoon time, so I wished him good afternoon, sir. And then after a few seconds, he replied, because it was a Skype interview, so it wasn't voice wasn't that much clear, but my sound, I was a confident person, and I was fully confident. I gave my best in the beginning, right? So he replied me back, and then after conversation started. So in the beginning, he asked me basic question: tell me about yourself. What is your name? From where you come? And what does your family do? So I satisfactory answers I gave to that person, and he was quite happy. I can see I was watching his expressions, and expressions were quite good, I'd say. And then he directly jumped into the technical portion. So a technical portion, I wasn't that much sure. I had all the information related to my subject, as I'm from civil background. I had all the commands in my subject, but the problem was this was the first time for me. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure I'll be giving 100% or not. So by the God grace, it was good. And the question type, I'll tell you the question type. The basic questions were there, and technical, very less technicality were there. All the questions were like a practical basis question related to your internships, or if you are doing any work like let's say for civil engineers, he asked me in the beginning, tell me your subjects, what type of subjects you are going through under this program. So I started telling him the subject, like in the civil engineering we study about the solid mechanics, we study about the structural analysis, we study about the surveying, we study about the engineering mathematics. When I told him engineering mathematics, he told me like exclude that engineering mathematics, include other subjects that are core. Then I told him geotechnical. So he picked geotechnical and surveying for me, and then questions were from there. So there were some practical questions I told you in the very beginning. So practical questions were like that. He gave me one surveying question. He asked me like, let's say you are a surveying engineer and there is a design, that is surveying design, and you went for a site and you have to see in that design what is the basic and most important thing that you'll notice in that particular design, because you have never seen that in design, but you have to draw that design in real life. So I was quite nervous at that time, but finally I got the answer, and I told him like mostly what we do as a surveying engineer. The first thing we have to notice is direction. Whenever you will get any design given by any person, so there will be a direction mentioned. There will be a direction mentioned, right, in somewhere corner. So I gave him this satisfactory answer, and he was like, "Wow, very good." And then he started asking different type of questions, and then he directly jumped into this geotechnical part. In geotechnical part, he didn't ask much question from geotechnical. He directly jumped into the foundation part, because I had one internship in this deep foundation. So he asked me one very common and very crucial question, I would say, because this is very learning phase of foundation when you study about the foundational engineering. So he gave me one practical question. Let's say you are a project manager in L&T. So when he started asking questions like that, I was quite happy, like he's including me in family of L&T. So I had some positive signs too. So I was fully confident. So at that time he gave me a question was like that. Let's say you are a project engineer and you are in Bombay, and in Bombay basically you are getting a marine and clay soil. So you have to construct a multi-story building in that particular area. So what type of foundation will you approach, and what will be the approaching steps that you are going to follow for the constructing that multi-story building in that particular area? So I approached in a very nice way. I amalgamated all the sentence that I found at that moment. So my amalgamation were quite simple. I'd give you a very light glimpse of that answer. I approached in the sense, I told him, sir, as a civil engineer, the first thing that we should know that soil mechanics is a very essential part of civil engineering, and it has some characteristic properties that we should understand very perfectly. So I approached in that sense, and I told him, as a project manager, there will be a team that will be working under me. So I'll be taking that team and I'll be visiting that site, and after visiting that site, I'll be seeing all the qualities of soil, and then I'll be taking some sample from that particular area, and after taking that sample, I'll bring those sample into my lab. In that lab we'll be doing some experiments. So in that way, in that sense, I approached, and then I told him like we have two types of foundation: deep foundation, pile foundation, and then as per the arbitrary values, that standard values, and then we'll come carrying those values, and then after we'll be approaching the type of foundation. If there is any problem, then we will going for retaining walls too. So this was the approach that I followed, and it was a very satisfactory answer. And after that, my communication, you can see it's by the God grace, it is somehow good. I won't say it is very good, but still I have to do a lot of work in my communication, but it is somehow good. All right. So in that sense, I approached, and it was quite fine. And after that, he replied me, very good, you are going in the right direction. If you are getting these type of signs, the sign while when you are giving your interview, it's a good sign for you. It's a good sign for you. Like people who is taking you, like HR who is taking your interview, he is getting interest on you. And then after all this technical portion, he directly jumped into this HR question. He asked me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? So this is a very basic question and very common question, and these are the choosy questions that you should always prepare before going for any interview, I'm not speaking about only L&T ECC. If you are going for any company, you should prepare all these questions. And I gave a very satisfactory answer. And then he asked me, tell me about your strengths. And then I clearly told him what are my strengths and where I am very good at, right? Where I'm good at, right? And then after, he asked me about my job locations. Will you be comfortable with all the job locations that you'll be given? Then I was like, I told him like sir, I'm up from Uttar Pradesh and I have seen all the difficulties in my life, so I can survive in any condition, sir. And it would be my honor if I'm working for L&T and doing project in different places. It will be my honor, and then I'll be getting a lot of experience. And me as a fresher, I need this experience, and this will be my learning phase. So this type of amalgamation I created, and this type of sentence I created, and I represented in front of that HR, and then he was very happy, and then he gave me best luck. And after that he was like, okay, you can leave now. So at the last I told him, okay sir, thank you very much, it was a really nice talk to you. And after that I wished him have a nice day, sir, and then I came out. So this was the experience that I faced during my L&T ECC interview. And I think if you are preparing for companies like L&T ECC or different companies like TPROCESS, SCC or AFCON or other companies, if you are preparing, you prepare in this way only, because and one more thing, you have to be confident. Please maintain your confidence, because companies like L&T and other companies, they are seeking for confidence. If you have great confidence, it can bring you something that you have never expected. Most of the time what happens, there are many students in my college, they are very talented, but what happens when they go for interview, because of lack of confidence, they lose the opportunity. So maintain your confidence. And L&T ECC is a very good company, and I'll be joining this company after finishing my last semester, and it will be fun for me, and I'll be working very hard for this company. And yes, if you have any query related to L&T ECC or any other companies, there are many students in my college, they have been placed, and I'll be bringing a lot of interviews experience, and I'll be uploading in my YouTube channel. And this is my personal YouTube channel. If you have any query related to L&T ECC or other, if anything, you just comment in my comment box, and it would be my honor if I can satisfy your answer. And yes, in the last but not the least, I would say, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe my channel and be the part of this beautiful family, and you'll be enjoying a lot of wonderful videos in my YouTube channel. Thank you very much once again.